Hey, what's up guys, Jaden here. Welcome back to another YouTube video. And in today's video, I'll be going through with you how to come up with a SEO strategy from scratch, fully customized, depending on what the business needs, depending on what the website needs. So I love creating videos like this. So if you do like this kind of videos, please help me to press the like button and subscribe to the channel. So every single time when we come up with a new SEO strategy, you'll be first to notify. So let's get started. I'm going to bring you back to my screen here and let's not waste any time. All right, so what I'm going to do as usual is I'm going to be looking at some of the most common things to look at when it comes to SEO strategy and kind of walking you through what you should be paying attention to, why you should pay attention to all this, and also like a step-by-step guide. So yeah, first things first is what we'll do is we'll look at the current performance. So we'll go in and take a look at what is their organic presence like, how big is their footprint. We'll also take into consideration what is their business information. So for example, are they operating in multiple locations or do they just have one location? Are they selling to the entire world or are they just targeting a specific market? If not, then how many markets are they targeting and stuff like that. And also understanding what's the most important KPI. So whether if that is leads or whether they are trying to get more newsletter signups and stuff like that, right? So that is under the business information. And then usually what I like to do is I like to take a look at the look and feel of the website's design to see whether if there's anything that we need to take note on. Like for example, if the design is not great, if there is some major design recommendations that we would recommend and stuff like that. And then finally, we go in and take a look at their technical SEO, on-page SEO, off-page SEO, and also their content. So usually there is a analytics here, but because today what I'm going to do is I am going to again pick a random business and then work off from there. So I won't have access to the analytics. But ideally, if you are working on your own site, if you are looking to come up with an SEO strategy for a client, for a partner, for your own project, then you would have analytics, right? And you want to take a look at your analytics. And usually analytics, the things that we take a look at is firstly is the data clean. You don't want to have messy data to work with, data that is not correct. And you also want to make sure that, some of the stuff like conversions are set up and stuff like that. But I'm not going to go into this because we don't have analytics, so I'm not able to show you guys this. So as you can tell, I'm always excited to be creating videos like this because I find that usually when it comes to SEO, right, the most important thing that comes into play is actually coming out with a strategy, because instead of you going in and then implementing everything, there is a lot of things for you to do, especially when it comes to SEO. There's a lot of things that you can potentially fix. The more important question is more so about what problems you should be fixing first that can get you the most back in terms of ROI. So in the previous video, I went through one example for a physiotherapy clinic. So if you want to check that video out, I will link that in the description down below. You can go and check and see how we come up with an SEO strategy for this brand. But today, what I'm going to do is I am going to select a dental clinic. So we're going to work with a dental clinic. So for this market, okay, I want to work with a dental clinic, and then because I've been showing examples from my local area, which is in Singapore, so I'm going to try to do it for a US-based dental clinic. And obviously, number 19 is my favorite number, so we're going to pick the number 19 in the local map packs, right? Yeah, so as usual, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Google and select a random dental clinic, and then we can work off from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google. I'm going to open up incognito mode. So google.com. And then I'm going to change the settings to United States so that it can show me results from the US. All right. And then we're going to type in dental clinic. Okay. So this should give us all the US-based results. And then what we're going to do is we're going to select the number 19 from the list. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Right, so this is the site that we're going to be working with, and it's called Dental Clinic of Onalaska, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. All right, so this will be the website that we'll be doing the strategy for. Okay, so first things first, what I want to do is I want to go in and plug this website into Ahrefs, let it load for a while. Okay, and while it's loading, I'm going to go check out their website. Okay, so immediately there's a few things here. So dental clinic of Alaska. Okay, and then if I hover over, this is what I usually like to check. I like to check, did anybody do any kind of SEO here? So it seems like there is a little bit of SEO being done. You can see dental treatments, and the titles and the description seems like it has been optimized before. So that's a really good sign. And then just going down here, so request an appointment today. Yeah, this is the call to action is mainly for people to call, right? Yeah. So click to call, get directions. Okay, so immediately what I'm noticing is they are a local dental clinic that's serving a specific, I think, area, right, in this area. So their phone number is here. So it seems like they have another clinic here. I'm not too sure. Let me just go in and check it out. Yeah, it could be... Nah, so it's the same... Okay, it seems like it's the same area. I'm not sure, but let's go up and just take a look. So in terms of like the design wise, it's not the best because, like some certain elements, right? You want to make the elements very, very straightforward. And these are like usual easy wins. So if you see this happening on your website, right, just try it out. Immediately you can implement this because it will increase your conversion rates. So for example, you can see this is a call now, and then dental clinic of Alaska, and this is actually a clickable element here, and these numbers are also clickable. So instead of just having numbers, right, you want to make it such that it's obvious that this is a clickable element and it's easy to click, right? So for example, in this case, this is request an appointment today, right? So everybody knows, whoever that comes to this website, right, they know that this is a clickable element like immediately, but people may not know that this is actually clickable or this is actually clickable. So you want to make sure that all your call to actions are very consistent throughout your entire site. So whenever somebody comes into your website, they know when they see this, right, it's an association to any similar design that they see. They're going to think that this is a button, right? So for example, if I scroll down, right, so this is a very obvious element like this, right? If they were to make a educated guess, right, this would be a button, this will be a button, but they wouldn't know that this is a button, right? So you want to make sure that every time when you have a call to action within there, you want to ensure that people know that this is a button. So instead of having something like this, right, I would change it to like this button instead. I have the number as this button, and then the copy, instead of request an appointment today, is just call and then this button, and then maybe call this button, for example. Okay, and then yeah, this is a embed Google Map. So if I open this up, this is going to open the Google Maps up. Okay, which is okay. So like some important elements here, I would remove this because usually, the first four, like I mentioned, is the most important, and we want to encourage people to take the action that we want them to take, which is in this case, request an appointment. So I would remove these social elements and remove them and maybe put them down below because it's too noisy. It's too much friction for people to, there's too many things to click, right? There are these buttons here, there are these here, and then there is these here. Okay, so immediately that's some of the few things that I would do. But what I'm seeing is there isn't a lot of big issues that when it comes to like design-wise, the design could be way better in a sense that the alignments, what we offer our patients, like the unique selling point, like all this can be presented in a way that is way better. But there isn't, at this moment in time, there isn't not much big issues. So I'm going to go into their service page. And the reason why I'm looking at services pages, because for local sites, right, for local services sites, their service pages are generally the most important pages because these pages are the ones that's going to get them leads. Right? Instead of like looking at, if they have a blog page, I generally don't look at blog pages first because like I mentioned, when it comes to an SEO strategy, it's about prioritizing which one is the most important. And for local services pages, the service pages are the most important. And that's why I want to take a look at these pages first. Okay, so again, I'm just going to go over here, okay, and take a look. Teeth cleaning in, yeah, so this seems like is some kind of SEO being done. Trust us, we'll thank you. Yeah. So again, like the design wise is not the best, right? Because you can see like this chunk of text, it's very difficult to read. And then like there's not a lot of images, not a lot of content here. So what I'm also noticing is the URL structure setup. So they are one of the things that you also need to take note on is to understand how a website's architecture is set up, how their URL structure is set up. Are they going with a sub folder? So in this case, it seems like they are going with a kind of like a subfolder point of view where the second folder is their services followed by their location, right? Which is fine. But you definitely want to pay attention to how the website architecture is set up, because depending on how each architecture is set up, the recommendations that you do will also need to be slightly more cautious, because you cannot just like, remove this page or change this URL, because that will affect the entire architecture, right? So I'm paying attention to all this kind of stuff as well. And then what I want to do is just want to take a look to see, all right, so this is not ideal. This is not ideal because, the main category here is a 404 page. So this is not ideal, but again, I'm not diving into anything important right now. I just want to take a look, just take a look at how the shop or how the house is set up, right? Taking a look at their foundations, taking a look at how their bricks laid up, how their windows are placed, where their doors are located and stuff like that. Right, so this is interesting. So when I'm looking at the rest of the service pages, right, you can see this is implants, but they don't have this similar URL structure set up, right? So teeth cleaning, and then they have their location, but then this one doesn't have their location. So it's kind of interesting. And so one of the main things why I'm looking at this, right, is because potentially what I can do is within my SEO strategy, right, I can recommend something like, site structure is not consistent. Okay, because this could be one of the main things that I recommend to them, right? Because you can see they don't have, this is a service followed by location, but then this one only have a service. So I'm going to go in and take a look at the sitemap, okay, to see if, how are they setting things up here, right? So they have their about, they have their services, which is fine. So these are services, and then, yeah, so it's a relatively thin site. So what I'm going to foresee is they're not going to have a lot of organic traffic because the site itself is relatively small. Because you can see from the sitemap, right, there is not a lot of pages here. Okay, and also at the same time, when you're coming out with an SEO strategy, you have to take into consideration how many pages a website has. If a website has a lot of pages, then you need to prepare in your mind that you're going to split up whatever you're going to do into different phases, right? So for example, if it's a 1,000-page website, then you want to split all of the recommendations or implementations that you will take into, say, for example, 3 phases, right? Part 1, we're going to do this first, and we're going to tackle this URLs first because these URLs are the most important first, and then we'll follow by this, and then we'll follow by this. But for this case, because it's a relatively small site, it's not going to take a lot of work, number one. Number two, I don't think that it's going to have a lot of organic traffic, but we have not taken a look at the Ahrefs yet. We have not analyzed the current performance yet, but you can see in terms of how their URL structure is set up, it's not very consistent, right? So they have like cavities, and then this is just like, it's random. Okay, so yeah, I also like to take a look at their mobile design just to see how are things looking like. Yeah, so this is really good. I really like this. This is how a mobile design should be like. So you can see this is I don't know why they have 2 call to schedule here. Okay, ideally you only want to have 1, but you can see this is a very clear cut. Like when people look at this, right, they know that when they click on this, it's a clickable element and they can call, right? So this is what I mean. You do not want to introduce friction, or you do not want to cause any kind of confusion to users when they are using your website, right? Yeah, so I really like this mobile design. It's nicely set up. What I would not want to do is have like these two. Like these two are the same buttons, call to schedule and call. I think they are the same. So I don't think 2 is required. This is fine. Yeah, and then this is their services page, which is not very ideal. I don't think people can read this text because the font is too small. But nonetheless, like, I'm nitpicking here. I don't think there's a big major issue on their mobile design. I just wish that their desktop design was, slightly better. Slightly better. Yeah, so that's about it, I think. So what I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to take a look at Ahrefs performance now. So earlier on, I'm assuming that it doesn't have a lot of traffic. And yeah, it doesn't have a lot of traffic, right? So in this case, the business is currently serving, from what I'm seeing, it's a dental clinic serving one location. And that location, I think it's in, 2 areas, it seems like, right? So serving 2 areas, right? And the 2 areas are Onalaska, and I'm not going to say this name because I'm going to butcher the name, right? But these are the 2 areas. So the reason why I want to have this is because when we are coming out with, let's say, for example, a recommendation, right? The immediate thought that we would have is to come up with a site structure that targets the services that they are offering and also these 2 locations, so Onalaska and this area, okay? So yeah, and then major for like local businesses, the most important things is obviously to get calls. Their main KPIs will be calls, right? And will be form submissions, right? This is, they don't have, they have emails here. Yeah, so this is ideally what we want people to do, which is to submit a form or get them to call to schedule an appointment, right? So yeah, I'm gonna now take a look at their main organic search performance. Okay, so this website is not getting organic traffic, right? And they have been around for since 2015, so it has been a very long time. Okay, and yeah, they're still surviving. I would guess that it's via referral basis and also via just people around in the neighborhood knowing where their clinic is. But I don't think they'll be getting a lot of inquiries from organic channel, which increases the opportunity for them because it's an untapped market, if you will, right? So they are running ads as well, which is good to see. Okay, and this is the specific area that they're targeting. So let's go in and take a look at their keywords. Okay, so dental, dentist, Onalaska. So it seems like the specific area that they are targeting is really small, right? So Onalaska, dentist, Onalaska, dentist, Onalaska, right? And one easy way, so I'm not going to go into a full-blown keyword research here, but one easy way for me to kind of gauge whether are they tapping onto their current organic market is by taking a look at some of their competitors and then seeing the top competitors, how much organic performance they are getting, because it's kind of like a shortcut in a sense. So this is where they are right now, but I want to look at their competitors that have like more traffic. So this one has way more traffic, which I'm going to go in and take a look at their performance. Okay, and then I'm going to take a look at their entire domain. So yeah, they don't have a lot of traffic as well, but okay, so it's a very, very specific niche site. Okay, and it's a very small market from what I'm seeing here. So Onalaska is a very small area. And if the area is very small, it doesn't mean that we cannot go after it, right? If the area is very small, chances are the competitors are relatively small as well, right? Because from what I'm seeing here, you can see in terms of like the dentist Onalaska, even though it has a search volume of 10, the cost per click is quite high. It's $3 plus. So the market is relatively small, but the intention of these searches are really high. And that's why the cost per click is high as well, because a lot of bidders are bidding on this specific keyword because they know that these specific keywords eventually get them more leads. And that's why more people bid on them, and that's why the cost per click is relatively higher, right? So you can see from what I'm looking at here, right, dentist Onalaska, they are in 4th position. And imagine the increase in terms of the leads they can get if they are in the 1st position, right? And can they go to the 1st position? You take a look at their DR here, right? So this dental, this brand and this brand, they have a DR of 2 and 1. Whereas the brand that they are working currently on has a DR of 21. So I would say that there's nothing guaranteed in terms of SEO, but the chances of us ranking number one for all these specific term keywords are relatively high. And the reason why that is high is because if you look at the competitors that are doing above us, they have a DR of 2, they have a DR of 1, right? So that is a good indication that we can outrank them. And even though, like I mentioned, nothing is guaranteed, right? But this shows us an indication, right? So again, I'm going to list down here, current DR, it's higher than most competitors, right? And then at the same time, the area where is on Alaska, right? Yeah. On is a small market. So interesting find so far. Let's continue. All right. So one quick way of how I can come up with a keyword research for this brand, right, is essentially take all of this, so all of the locations here, and then just do a quick keyword research. And I think of all these areas, right, all of them are going to be relatively small because even their main location, right, it's also quite small. So, and if I take a look at, let's say, River Falls, for example, then this Black River Falls, right, they was like 50. Okay, so this is going to be a relatively small market. But again, like I mentioned, it seems like it's very, very promising. Yeah, you can see DR 0, there is 1, there is 39, 0, 1. Like there's a lot of opportunities for us to make this clinic a lot more money. Because if they were to rank for these type of keywords, they're going to generate way more leads, right? So overall, I would say overall market is small. And all other areas clinic is targeting, right? So overall, the keyword research, right? If we were to do keyword research, I already know that it's going to be relatively small. Like the number of search volume that we're going to see is going to be relatively small. However, competition is also relatively small. And that's why like it's very, very exciting if, let's say, we were to work on this to generate more leads via Google, via SEO. Because you can see earlier on, like I showed you guys, right? So yeah, this is just some of the current performance. And then what I also want to take a look at is like, how is their backlinks? Oh, I want to take a look at how is their backlinks, right? So if I go over to their backlinks, first of all, let's take a look at their link growth. Okay, so, it seems like they are very active in building links since 2023, right? And also, if depending on what is like I mentioned, you're looking at current performance, not just from an organic keyword point of view, but you're looking at it from a technical, from a on-page, from an off-page point of view. Because what they have done will ultimately decide what recommendations you would give them, right? So for example, in this case, this brand has been building links aggressively since upwards of 2024. Now, this could be an indication that somebody built the links for them, and which results in a potential risk of building non-quality links or building spammy links, right? And if that's the case, then our recommendation would be to go in and look at all these links and see whether if we want to remove these links or not. Because building links incorrectly could be detrimental as compared to, increasing the performance, right? So it worries me a little bit, especially when I see people build links like this. It's spread, like if let's say I filter this down to 2 years, right? 41 to 148, right? So within 2 years, they increase their links by 100, which is, don't get me wrong, building links is okay. I'm just worried that the links that they build will come back and bite them in the future, right? So they are building links. And so what I want to do is I want to go in and take a look at the links that they are building. So let's take a look at new links, and then last 2 years. Okay, and then what we're going to do is, okay, we're just going to go in and take a look at some of these. So DR blog, yeah, so these are the kind of links that you do not want to build. Okay, and also one more thing, because you don't have an understanding of what has been done for a particular site, right? So this is a very cool tip. You can actually estimate whether a website has done any kind of SEO before, right? Whether if it's done properly or not, you can kind of guess, right? So for example, right now, they have a lot of links going to the site, right? Firstly, like I mentioned, it could be because they are building links intentionally, number one. Or number two, it could be because like people are spamming their website. These two are possibilities, right? And again, the reason why I'm stating this out is because there are two solutions to this problem. If they are building links intentionally and they are not doing the correct way of building links, then the recommendation would be to, either disavow some of the links, or either moving forward, the links that we build needs to be more authoritative. The anchor text needs to be more optimized in a sense, right? So that's first. But if they are not building links intentionally and they are somehow, their website is getting a lot of links, then we need to take a look to see whether if their website is suffering from any kind of like negative SEO attacks, where we have to go in and analyze, all these links. So again, the reason why the current performance is very important is because we cannot just go in and recommend a solution for every business or every type of website, because the behavior of every website and what has been done, everything is different, right? So I digress, but I'm going to show you one quick, easy way to see if a website has done any kind of link building before. All right. So if you go over to some of the links and you open this up, okay, what you want to find, right, is you want to find the anchor text, right? Because people who don't know how to build links, when they build a link, usually you will see a very specific anchor text, right? And the anchor text could be like their dental services, or, it's very obvious. It's a very clear telltale sign, right? So if you take a look at, let's say I'm going to open this up and then I'm going to open these two pages up, right? So immediately you can see this website, it doesn't have any kind of like traffic, it doesn't have any DR, and the site is not secure, right? And you just take a look at the overall site, like this site is not done up. Like it is not a legitimate site, right? The main purpose, the reason why this site exists is to build links, is to sell links, right? So what you want to do is you want to take a look at the kind of links that they're building. So you can see what these are. Essentially, these are forum links, okay? And this is really interesting here. So this is what I mean by how you can find whether somebody is building links or not, okay? The reason why this type of links exists is because they are building comment links, right? So somebody posts an article and then there are places where they can leave comments, right? So all these are comments, okay? And you can see under, like, it's very obvious these people are leaving comments that makes no sense. And the sole purpose of why this exists is because you can see if I hover over it, there is a link on the bottom left-hand side of my corner, right? So this website is building links, this website is building links, this website is building links, and this website is building links, okay? And this is not the way of how you want to build links, right? So you can see here, this is the link, right? And this is the link. Okay, this is the link to the actual page. I find it interesting when you say blah, 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 blah. And this is relatively new. It's almost a year old, right? It's when they started building their links, right? So my guess is they are building links intentionally. However, it's not done correctly. Whether they are outsourcing this to somebody else, or whether the founder is trying, or the clean director is trying to build their own links by looking at some of the resources that they find, like, they are mentioning like forum link buildings or comment link buildings, the way to go, and then they are doing it. Either way, they are wasting their resources. And that's why, like, it's very good to have all this understanding in place. Because when you speak to somebody, right, imagine if you have never spoken to them before, and you tell them, like, based off of what we are seeing from your website, it seems like you're building links, or it seems like you're doing some kind of SEO, whether if you're outsourcing it or doing it on your own. Regardless, this shouldn't be the way that you should do this, because it's a waste of resources, and also it's a waste of time, right? And well, time is money. So this is just not the way of how you want to build things. And maybe this is just one occurrence, right? But you want to open another one and you just want to check whether if this is the same kind of things happening, right? So in this case, this website has a little bit more DR, has a little bit more relevancy. However, you can see this is a no-follow link, and you can almost guess it that this is going to be another comment link, right? Alicia Brown, which is a name for the commenter. And if we were to go down, you can see over here, this is another comment link building, right? And if I just do a quick search for Alicia, right? Alicia, there you are. right? So this is the link that they are building. So they are building a lot of forum links. And okay, the thing about this is this is built in 2020. So it's not that big of a deal, but yeah, this is not the kind of links that they want to build, right? So if I were to filter this out by DR, so Yellow Pages is a citation, this is fine. Chamber of Commerce is a legit link, so this is fine. Yellow Pages, text notes, yeah, remedies for dry mouth. So I can already notice there's some things that we want to clean up in a sense, because the forum links are just not going to work. And then what we will do is, again, I'm not going to dive in straight into it. The next thing that I'll do for off page, right, is to do a backlink audit, right, and anchor text audit. The reason why I'm suggesting this is because of the behavior that this website is going through. They have went through a link building process, right? Whether if it's intentional or unintentional, it seems like it's pretty intentional. And yeah, they have built citations. So whenever a website has done any kind of link building, we definitely want to go in and audit the link to see whether if there's anything unusual. And also quickly, I just want to take a look at the anchor text. Then the clean of Leska, yeah. We definitely want to pay attention to the anchor text a little bit, because you can see a lot of these are exact match anchor text. Dental implants, dental cleanings, dental cleaning of Onalaska. This is fine because this is actually the brand name, so this is okay. But yeah, cavities, dentist. Yeah, we definitely want to go in and take a look and run a backlink and anchor text audit for this site, right? Because there's a high chance that it could be, number one, over-optimized, because you can see all these anchor text here. Okay, and also the links that they are getting may not be, I mean, whatever links that they're building right now, I would recommend them to stop, right? Because yeah, this is going to be another forum link, right? Yeah, it's going to be another forum link. Okay, and if they have done this like in the past, like 2016, then this is okay, right? But I'm more concerned about, what are the recent links that they are getting, right? If they are still getting the same kind of links that they are, building, then that's where I would pay a little bit more attention to, right? So this is another link that they have built. Again, this website, this DR is 41, but this website does not have any traffic at all, right? And this is an exact match anchor text, right? The anchor text here is dentist. And this is new. Okay, so this is published in 2024, which means in 2024, they are still building links. And these are the kind of links that they're building. So I would recommend them to stop their link building process as of now, because it's going to be, number one, like I mentioned earlier, waste of money and waste of time. Yeah, because when you're building links, some of the things to take note, you want to build links that have relevancy and have some kind of organic performance. So it's not like you're building a link from a website that is purely for the sake of building links, right? So in this case, this website does not have any traffic at all, I think. Yeah, if we go, yeah, so you can see like the behavior for this site. I'm just going to go in and take a look. Yeah, so keywords 0. Yeah, this is not, yeah. So these are the links that we will avoid. These are the type of links that we will avoid. Okay, so yeah, that's the first thing I will do here. Okay, is to stop the link building that they are doing, because they are either spending money to build that link, or they are wasting time if they are the one who reach out and then do the communication and stuff like that. So yeah, this is for off page. And then, overall on page also, what I will do is I will do keyword research first to identify for all small areas they are targeting. Okay, that is for on page. And then yeah, let's go back and take a look at their website. So how long is this video? Yeah, so let's see, request an appointment, implants, cavities, right? So site structure is not consistent. Website design, I don't have too much of an issue here, so I'm just going to put NA, or not much issues. And then content-wise, they just don't have any kind of content, so it's going to be NA, right? They don't have any kind of content at all, right? So immediately, what's the first steps I will do for this website? Number one, stop their link building. That's the first recommendation I will ask them to take, right? Stop their link building, because whatever they're doing is not working. Okay, that's first. Second of all, what I will do is I will come up with a keyword research, right, to target all of the small areas plus the services that they are offering. So for example, in this case, like implants, Black River, implants, Holman, right, implants, La Cruz, right? And all these implants on Alaska, right? And then have all of those out and then go on to the next one, which is like, for example, broken teeth. Broken teeth, then the location of the name. But what I will do is I'll come up with a keyword research. That's the second. And then third will be to create these services pages. Create all the services pages that we found from the keyword research. So that's in accordance to what I will do, right? Firstly, run this link audit because, like I mentioned earlier, I've repeated again and again. I feel like a broken record here. That's the first thing I'll do. Secondly, do a keyword research to capture all of these areas here on Alaska, this area, and then the rest of the areas that they are serving in, and then build services pages for all the keywords that have searches, right? That's the three things I will do immediately. And then, the rest of the stuff, like, the next thing I will do is to take a look at the Google Business Profile, which is kind of like the next thing that I'll do, right? And then you can see like the reviews are there, which is really nice. What I'll do is I'll go in and take a look at how their business profile is set up. And then like there could be opportunities here that I can go in and take a look at. But in terms of prioritization, the top three things I'll do, this, and this. Right? So that is how I will come up with an SEO strategy for a dental clinic based off of what I'm seeing here. Right? So yeah, that is it for this video. So I hope you like this video. I hope this will give you some insights of how to come up with your own SEO strategy, how to look at the current performance of your site, how to prioritize which one is more important. And yeah, hopefully you like this kind of video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Is this kind of videos helpful? And also, if you have a website that you want me to take a look at, please feel free to drop in the comment section down below. Or you can join our Facebook group, ask your questions inside the Facebook group, and I will get it answered. So that being said, that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel so that you'll be notified whenever a new video comes up. Cheers.